Alright, okay. 8 out of 9 of my re-listens of my favorite artist, Radiohead. I'm really excited for this one. I'm really excited for The King of Limbs to sort of be able to find out how I feel about this one. Because I think for like every album, it's like kind of easy for me to know how I feel. I think I was very intrigued with the Hail to the Thief one. I mean, I've enjoyed doing all these re-listens anyways because of, like, you know, lyrically being able to sort of analyze them better because it just didn't matter to me to a certain extent. So, new appreciation for sure. But with The King of Limbs, I am not 100% on what I'm going to feel about this, right? All the other ones have been consistent. Not much has changed with my scores beforehand, barring Pablo Honey liking a little bit less, or like sort of having to realize that it's, you know, it's a disappointing album. For a debut album, I would, if it was 93 and I just heard about Radiohead, I'd be like, oh yeah, again, they may not want to hear this, but I would be like, oh yeah, Creep, it's a great fucking song. Rest of the album, okay, like it, but there would have been so much other stuff coming out that year that I would not have really been paying attention to them, or that album would have went by the wayside. Regardless, considering when I found out about Radiohead at a young age, them being my favorite band, all those songs I know way too well. But yes, King of Limbs is known as sort of the disappointing album in their catalog, coming off of In Rainbows, and Rainbows being, you know, one of their best albums, and this being an utter disappointment. I may think that it's a little underrated, but I'm doubting this is going to rank up to any of the other projects. Okay? But we'll see what they have in store. We're going to listen to it now, okay? This song, first off, I will say Bloom. In the basement version of this, always love that, though, that little bass hit that ends out this track. Now, yeah, right out the gate, I'm going to say bold decision, basically. I think it's a bold decision to start with this song. First off, too, I think only Feral as a song on this album can be compared to this song. Like, this has a very distinct sound. It's a lengthy song. Do I think that that length works for it? It may not be the best choice for like a intro song to the album, maybe. But I think lyrically here what we're getting is, this is a little bit harder to like read into. Okay, or even like reading the Genius here. Okay, so they are trying to discuss that lyrically how this song starts and then with the backing of it, right? So there's a very busy nature, as if this world is a very busy nature surrounding the song. And I think that can be fair enough. I think that's fair enough. Open Your Mouth Wide can be seen, I think, with the yawn part, the universal sigh that comes afterwards, but also suggesting that open your mouth wide, here it's talking about feeding a child. So in the sense of like you are in charge of someone else, you know what I mean? Like your position in the world is teacher, which comes with a sense of knowing or a sense of wisdom. And then while the ocean blooms, what keeps me alive. Apparently this is discussing phytoplankton. So then trying to discuss like nature, or like nature as in the natural order of things. Like again, this is making me think everything in its right place, but everything in its right place being more human and much more of like a cynical thing, or having this edge to it. Here it seems more like everything in its right place, it's for real, like this is what's meant to be. Don't blow your mind with whys saying this. Yeah, why does it still hurt? Don't blow your mind with whys. I guess in a way, if it's trying to suggest this perfect nature or order of nature, and the human condition is very imperfect, it's trying to suggest not looking at it that way, or in a sense like you won't find the answer you want to. You know, we're always going to be searching for that, but never really find that answer. Maybe that's sort of how I'm seeing it. I don't know. I don't get a lot from this song, and like I think there's something here, but I think it's very, it's just a small amount of substance to start this album off. Which again, when I think about a song like this, it's not really about the substance for me. It's much more about what. Because you know, I really consider Radiohead an album band. So what is this going to suggest going in? First off, Morning Magpie, how this song transitions in is quite good. Okay, it's saying here too, right as soon as we reach Ingenious, this has been around since 2002. That's cool. Another lengthier song. Morning, Mr. Magpie. I wonder, I don't know if I like this one more than Bloom, to be honest. Like, Bloom is such a grand statement, and even the sound of it I'm kind of enjoying more, but this has like a very easy to follow structure, I think. What I'm getting lyrically, or what it's suggesting too, what a magpie is. A magpie, it says here, it's a bird that has like superstitions about it being an omen of bad fortune, that very often it will steal shiny things. So I am thinking that this, again, and it will already suggest here too that this has to do with like corporations or, you know, business people who, you know, stealing shiny objects. I mean, all their whole pursuit is for capital, right? And what do they give to the world in return, right? We get these products, but at the end of the day, you know, they're taking away a lot of the beauty from life at the end of the day. And I think this is why he does say, like, now you've stolen all the magic and took my memory, like kind of diluting what the meaning of the world is, sort of taking control of the narrative when, you know, it's not really their job to do that. I don't know. It doesn't try to get into things like it's a very short song lyrically, and I do think coming from what we got from Bloom, at least seeing this busy nature of things, there being nature that has like some control, and then coming to this song where it's like, you know, what control do we have in this world? Nothing. Big corporations have this control, and it's all bullshit. We already understand the human condition as being very chaotic, and now instead of trying to like understand that or come to terms with that, we've let someone else who doesn't care about it, you know, sort of dumb things down, if not for our gain. Okay, third song here, and again, I will say that there's like this trend with the instrumentation being like very, very chaotic, like very fast-paced, surrounding you. Although these songs can sort of have some difference in the way they're sounding, like this type of speed behind it, it is not. Here lyrically, what we're getting with this song, I guess what I am, or what it's saying here too, sort of, it says that this is describing a person who's become bitter and cynical due to their lack of an outlet from everyday burdens. I mean, you're really understanding this with the bridge. Obligations, complications, routines and schedules, the drug that will kill you. So like sort of being stuck. And I think what I am not liking about this is what I'm getting lyrically from this bridge. I feel like I've gotten that message from Radiohead before in like a much better way. So it does seem lyrically now on track 3 that I'm not getting as much substance, from what they're trying to say. So don't turn nasty on the dust of hell, a pillar of my salt. It's trying to say here, right? A pillar of my salt. This is something in the Bible. A punishment for turning around to look back upon God's destruction of the city of Sodom. I guess, told not to look back. He is certainly being playful, but I think you could also relate that to this Bible, this being in Genesis as well. If being a flirt is something that seduces you, is wanting you to look. So almost seeing, and this doesn't have to be entirely related to religion, but at least the world or society as it is plays a lot of games and is attempting to seduce you into breaking these habits as well. I think potentially this is a strange one. I think there's more to this than the other two songs for sure, but and like I was already saying, playfulness a little bit. That's cool. I respect that. Let's continue on. The one thing I will say about this album, as I already remember, is that the second half is way better. 8 tracks, first 4, like ranking wise, is the last 4. See, this already reminds me of Bloom with this. First 4 songs, I will say, Feral is my favorite out of them by far. Out of those 4 songs, it's got such a nice groove to it. It makes me want to move, and I'm feeling that trance nature to it. There is lyrics to this, a small amount of lyrics, but I cannot at all like perceive that he's saying anything when I hear that song. There's not a lot to it though. You're not mine, I'm not yours, it's all fine, please don't judge, and then repeating judge. So there is judgment. I'm feeling like he's saying that because there is judgment. But again, the song being called feral too, like something that is like feral, like something that's not really bound to some sort of like society, is sort of how I'm finding that, right? Yeah, it's in a wild state, something that is not domesticated. Something that's not bound by ownership, I guess, as well. It's cool. I kind of think that's cool. Am I finding much as to like what the song has to do with anything else? I don't know. Other than this idea of control, right? Like understanding the control of like nature or its perfection in Bloom, Morning Mr. Magpie, like that sort of corporations or big businesses have control little by little. That song's sort of discussing control in the sense of like how we live our lives outside of routine, or how this like certain routine or expectations can kill us. This is sort of the single song off this. And you know, the music video's been memed to death with Thom Yorke. Thom Yorke's dancing. I'll shape myself until you're talking, and there's a door to why you want, to why you want, help me out. There's an empty space inside my each day, and I'll set you free. Okay, it didn't record for a little bit at the end of the song, but you know, I've listened to this many times. I think that there's enough of the gist there. But lyrically, what I was grabbing from this song, I'll go through it again, basically. First off, very dancey, very groovy, very catchy song. Like the first song that really strikes out to me on this album, and is definitely re-listenable. And as a lyricist, or maybe not as a lyricist, but as a performer, really takes control here. From what I was just reading lyrically, this feels like it's the first one that seems more personable. It's more about himself, his life. Lyrically, what they're saying at the start here with "I will shape myself into your pocket, invisible, do what you want, do what you want." sort of discussing like you know, taking a back seat in the sense of not controlling his children's life, letting them choose for themselves, in the sense where, you know, when you're a celebrity, or not just a celebrity but someone who's revered as an artist, it can be you know, how you know, you don't want to force their way into what they want to do with their future endeavors. And then later in this like refrain here, or this chorus, where there's an empty space inside my heart where the weeds take root, and now I'll set you free. So I'm feeling like inside his heart, this is sort of the creative ideas he has, or like, you know, the reason why he's creating is to fill that void, or, you know what I mean, or when there's weeds in there, I guess, you know, doing the spring cleaning, or, you know, that's setting that free, I guess. Or weeds are very messy things, are very complicated parts, very, you know, a natural part of nature, but they're also sort of a disturbance, right? This empty space is a disturbance, but it's a disturbance that he can set free. And I guess setting this free, there is a sense of beauty with that. Moving on with Slowly Wind Froze Lotus Flowers. So here it's already discussing that a lotus flower goes of the mud darkness. So something that's beautiful is coming out of that, right? So you were making something beautiful from those weeds, from that empty space that's inside your heart. So, you know, a sense of optimism from, you know, things not being potentially perfect in your life. And then, you know, setting something free, that sort of catharsis of setting something free. So I think this song, you know, is very beautiful. This sort of message that he's trying to reveal. And then later on, you know, saying that he wants the moon upon a stick, something that's very, very unachievable. Just to see what if, just to see what is. So seeing life being born out of like very dark circumstances, and then, you know, discussing sort of wanting this power to be able to see all of his opportunities, see where he went wrong, see where he went right, what he could have done with his life. You know what I mean? On the grander scheme of things, what he's achieved, I guess. And this is much more about himself, not about his career, I find. But at the end of the day, right, like, his career, I guess, you know, has been a very important part of finding himself. You know what I mean? Maybe it wasn't necessary in the sense of like this content being released, but it's a way to sort of, you know, shuffle through the sort of confusion that life is. Okay, we'll continue on with these very VV sad tracks here. Okay, so it's suggesting here lyrically, sleight of hand, jump off the end into a clear lake, no one around. So sleight of hand, usually like stealing something, I guess, or you're doing something very quickly that someone isn't noticing. You're jumping off when no one is around. I don't know, when I first heard this song, I guess, or like the jump off the end part, it almost feels like it's coming and I may be wrong about this, but a sense of guilt. But something that's clear, like a clear lake, no one around, to me it almost feels like you're trying to find some purity. This is about your own journey into finding some purity from something. But just dragonflies, fantasized, no one gets hurt, you've done nothing wrong. So now feeling like there's this, like, you know, in a way, this person's maybe is overthinking this position. Just sort of this person is actually a very naive person, potentially. But there's a lot of innocence in them. There's a lot of good in them. Or this person here, this singing now, is saying it to them, that they've done nothing wrong. And later on, too, it says the water's clear and innocent. The water's clear and innocent. Slide your hand. Yeah, from playing on words with slide hand. Fair enough. So, if anything, I do feel like this person narrating this song is an outsider of this person, but is certainly seeing this person trying to run away from something, something that is emotionally disturbing them, and what they see from their perspective is this pure human. I think musically, the sound of it does feel like there's a sense of emotional catharsis in it as well. Like this, and that going down, like it feels like there is this, like, letting go. This letting go. So maybe this person too, jumping off of this into the lake, there is like a letting go of the past, potentially, as well. Like, just seeing, like, pure emotion in relation to lyrics here, like, that's sort of what sells for me. Yeah, it's really good. I love it. I love that song, and this one up here is also fantastic. Not wanting to be heard. Holy shit. Yeah, give up the ghost and coat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, first 4 songs on here, I'm like, okay, not feeling too much. It's kind of cool. 5th song, I'm like, ooh, this okay. Oh yeah, this is grooving. And then the next 2 songs are, like, just emotionally devastating. Like, I think those 2 songs are some of the, you know, emotional heights of, you know, just the saddest tracks I've heard from Radiohead. And again, too, just, like, not trying to get into what the song's about, but, like, lyrically what you're hearing, just on a bare bones level, right? Continuously hearing, like, don't hurt me, you know what I mean? Like, that's sort of, like, vulnerability of someone not being able to, like, protect themselves. Like, they can't stop this person or this thing or whatever it is from hurting them, and that repetition of it, to me, you know what I mean? Like, and then the Into Your Arms, like, the repetition of that too, like, 2 people together and sort of, you know, embracing each other. And what does Into Your Arms, like, make you think, right? Like, when you're in an emotional moment with someone and you embrace, and how much easier it can become to sort of let go of your emotions. You know what I mean? Like, you may be like tighten up, like, yeah, blah, blah. But then as soon as, you know, that person holds you and is telling you it's okay and is there for you, and you can like sort of let those tears out or like let go, like that's sort of like what I'm visualizing or like feeling from those lyrics on a bare bones level. And I think it really sounds with the way he sings. You know what I mean? Like, someone else singing this, maybe it wouldn't resonate as much, but I'm feeling that. With him. But what does give up the ghost mean? I guess giving up the ghost is something that's haunting you. That's what I think it is, right? So what this person and this emotion that you're discussing with this person, or this person who's helping you, you're sort of coming to the realization that you have to give up something. You have to give up something that's been haunting you, or been, I guess the best word is, hurting you. Or maybe this "don't hurt me" is you finally emotionally explaining yourself to someone because of this ghost, because of something that you know you're not letting go of, and you don't want the situation to hurt you. I don't know. I think in many ways, there's many ways to maybe see this song, but I am seeing this song as someone who, you know, again, it's just pure love of depression. It's just purely depression is what this song's about. In many ways, right? You're thinking about life or something that you've done or something that is haunting you in a very negative light, and you're maybe relying on this person for that emotional support, and you know, kind of realizing, and again, the "don't hurt me" is maybe a sense of depression too, where it's like you're not allowing yourself to believe that this person is fully there for you, kind of. Maybe you can read that in there too. Beautiful. Vocally, though, I do think that, once again, Thom, as he is, Thom is always shining. What is he saying here? He's fallen to bed from a long and vivid dream. Sweetest flower fruits were hanging from the tree. So this is a good dream. This is a very good dream he was having. Very intense one. He has his heart in his mouth. So what he's saying, or what he was doing in there, you know, was coming from the heart, for sure. And as that woman blows her cover in the eye of the beholder. Okay, so in this dream, at least, maybe there was a woman that was in this dream, but you know, out of this dream, you know, he's not having this certain control of it. But if you think this is over, then you're wrong. Okay, like I've fallen out of bed. So what this experience with this person is like, you fall out of bed from a long and vivid dream. So that sort of dazed nature from something that you were having. Okay, when at last you give in, wake me up, will you wake me up? So what, like not, so like you get out of, so you're like wanting to be woken up from this dream now. It's not like, it was a very good dream where this person, I don't know, maybe like when you've woken up from a sort of dream and you just feel very like, you know, that sort of peace that can come with it, I suppose. But But Seperator, maybe naming this song Separator, so being separated from your dream, like separated from this certain fantasies that you're having. But yeah, he does say, finally I'm free of all the weight I've been carrying. So like, being well rested, but not just well rested, but you're really waking up anew because of like being in such an experience. Weird way to end this album. But sound-wise, I think it works. At the end of the day, what we're getting sound-wise, it's still quite clunky. All over the place, really. This is for sure, even lyrically or conceptually or song-wise, it's the least focused. I would even say Pablo Honey is more focused in the sense of, lyrically, that the angst on that album, it knows what it wants to be saying. Here, I'm not getting as much, I'd say, but from vocals or from the sound of this alone, I would still say this is still quite impressive, right? Like, yeah, I'm still happy with this project. Once again, because it's been years since this came out, or when I found Radiohead, this album was already out, so it's not like I was going to be struck with some disappointment, like, oh, this isn't good. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't listening to it when it came out, so it would have been like, fuck, man, I've been waiting 4 years for this shit. It wouldn't have been like that for me, so whatever. But yeah, this is a strike down in quality, for sure. And I really do think it's because of those first 4 songs. I mean, Lotus Flower and Separator, compared to tracks and other albums, still aren't at peak, but they're really good songs. They're really, really impressive tracks. And then Codex and Give Up the Ghost, when Thom is really doing his Sad Boy, it's some of the finest I've heard from him, right? So this isn't, like, I've certainly grabbed something from this album. I certainly have. I want to give it, I'm 7.5 to an 8. It's a 7.5 to an 8. Like, it's like, I don't know, like, I kind of want to give it the 8 only really because of Codex and Give Up the Ghost, like, because of how much I love those songs, but I don't think this album deserves an 8 considering how unfocused it is, or how, like, not tight, it is, and, So, you know what, I'll stick with the 7.5. This is a good album. I would say I like this, I do like this more than Pablo Honey, but, just in the sense of some of the soundscapes on this album. But at the end of the day, with Pablo Honey, there's still a lot of fun to be had with what they were trying to do there, regardless. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can understand why this is a disappointing album in their catalog. I didn't leave empty-handed, that's all I can say. Regardless though, I'll be really excited for Moon Shaped Pool when I do that. It's the last one in here, and then maybe I'll do a video for my favorite songs. And if anything, I'll add songs that B-sides probably too, because there's wonderful B-sides from them. Yeah, so stay tuned for that, okay? If there's anything else you want to see me react to, anything at all, just put a comment down below. And thank you for watching. Peace.